Noches. Thank you, Edwin Gonzalez, Marimba Nicaragüense, for your incredible performance. Muchas gracias. Please, everyone, find your seats. Please help us welcome Mary Travis Allen, who will provide this evening's land acknowledgement.
Good evening. Good evening and blessings to all my relatives. My name is Mary Travis Allen, and I'm the Advisory Board President for the American Indian Cultural District, as well as a member of Mission Destino and other committees and councils here in San Francisco. I am Mayagna and Chorotega, people of Nicaragua on my mother's side, and the Seneca Nation on my father's side. I was born and raised here in San Francisco and retired in 2020 from a senior manager position with the SFMTA after 32 years of service. But as I mentioned, what I'm doing now is important work that I and many of you are doing on behalf of our communities. That work is never done and should be reflected in all the work you do and all aspects of your lives. We are brought together by our ancestors to fulfill the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. The prophecy tells of this time when the indigenous peoples of the North and the South would reunite to renew and protect our original knowledge, strength, and connection to our Earth Mother. This is a time of reconciliation, reunification, and healing of all the land and all its peoples. In case you don't know, the eagles and the California condors have begun to nest here in the Bay Area. They know it's time. I'm honored to be with you here tonight to celebrate the 2023 Latino Heritage Month celebration and awards ceremony and present the land acknowledgement on your behalf to the Ramaytush Ohlone people. We that are gathered here acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, who are the original inhabitants of Yelamu, which is now called San Francisco. The Ramaytush Ohlone are the stewards of Yelamu, and in keeping with their traditions, they have never ceded, lost, or forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for us and all peoples who reside or work in their traditional territory. We wish to honor and pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community and by affirming their sovereign rights as the first peoples of this land. We are all guests, and as such, we are to recognize that as visitors, we benefit from living and working on their ancestral homeland. We are reminded that we do not own this land and that our ancestors did not create land ownership or borders to separate our people on the land. The land is our mother, and we are all relatives. We are to be grateful, respect, and coexist with all the Creator has provided for us. Creator, we ask for your blessings for all gathered here and all those that we carry in our hearts. We acknowledge that we are unified by our ancestral blood and spirits that gives us pride, strength, and purpose in this gathering here today and every day in all we do. Aho, thank you.
Gracias, Mary Travis Allen, for the land dedication de los pueblos indígenas del norte de América.
Bienvenidos a todos. And welcome to tonight's 2023 Latino Heritage Month celebration in City Hall in San Francisco. Órale, por favor. Before we begin, we just want to take a few moments. It always gets so serious and so quiet when we start. I hope everyone's ready for a celebration tonight for extraordinary honorees. We want to make sure that we represent our leaders in labor tonight who are here, that we have recognized, some who will recognize a little later on in the program tonight. But of course, Kim Tavaglione from the Labor Council, Olga Miranda from Local 87, our elected leaders, Shimon Walton, Asha Safai, Aaron Peskin, and of course, our Latina elected city supervisor from District 7, Myrna Melgar. Our Afro-Latina district attorney, Brooke Jenkins. The Honorable Maria Evangelista, thank you for joining us tonight. Leading our elected brass, of course, our Sheriff, Paul Miyamoto. Thank you to our fire chief and to our police chief for being here with us tonight and serving our communities. Our Director of Public Health, Grant Colfax. Jorge Rivas, who leads our Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs. Elmi Bermejo, who joins us from the Small Business Administration. And our Consul Generals from so many countries that are joining us here tonight from the Americas and elsewhere. Supervisor Peskin, I think you know that I recognized you. We come here together to celebrate our shared roles in taking care of our home, San Francisco. Me llamo Joaquin Torres. I'm your elected assessor recorder here in the city and county.
And my name is Larissa Dugan Cuadra, Executive Director of the Central American Resource Center, Cares in San Francisco. We are honored to be your co-MCs for the celebration of Latino power, history, influence, advocacy, art, culture, cuisine, and community.
We want to thank the host committee for their work in planning for tonight that showcases our strength in unity and diversity. Tonight, we celebrate Latinos' contributions to our city and affirm our rights to dignity, equity, and inclusion. Somos San Francisco.
We are San Francisco. As national political players seem intent on denying the contributions, dignity, and rights of our community deserves, it becomes ever more important to recognize and reinforce our diverse local Latino community and the work we do right here at home. When San Francisco stands on the right side of her story, we set the course for other cities to follow. Our city values of inclusion, opportunity, racial equity, and justice are alive and well, but reflected in the work of tonight's award recipients, tonight's host committee members, and of course, all of you here to join us in celebrating the Latino community and our beloved city, a city for all.
We know that our work is far from done, that the equitable recovery we wish to see for our city requires all of us and that means you too, our City Administrator, Carmen Chu. Together, we work to support our small businesses, our vendors, our merchants as we continue to navigate this post-COVID reality. Together, expanding our collective work on the collective work during the pandemic, the community hubs, offering a right to recover, connecting people to good-paying jobs, investing in our leaders and organizations, creating opportunity for our diverse Latino constituencies to thrive.
Creating new resource centers to respond to the needs, rights, and aspirations of our immigrant brothers and sisters, the very people that fuel the economic engine of our city, our state, and nation. I want to take a moment to thank Mayor Breed and the Board of Supervisors for your support and investment in Carecen's new home and community resource center at the intersection of the Tenderloin, Soma, and Mid-Market community.
And let's highlight some of our national significance as well.
In 2020, Latinos came out and voted. We voted for democracy, for equality, for justice, and for the country that we help shape, envision, and are committed to. And we will do it again in 2024. Generations of Latinx leaders have and continue to shape the environment that we live in.
From our pivotal role in the civil rights movement, including the landmark case of Mendez versus Westminster of the 1940s that began to crack those racist walls of segregation, to the organizing years of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, whose monumental efforts to bring our communities together in nonviolence, Black, Brown, Native, and API, in the name of dignity and respect, remain so significant that we etch their names in the awards that we hand out tonight. To the journalists who told our stories, brought us information we could trust, and educated our communities when mainstream media refused to do so. From the posters you can see, thank you, Ralph Remington, that you can see next door that focus on our advocacy and our fight for rights in our community. To the murals that brighten our streets in La Misión and tell our stories of pan-Latino unity and solidarity, all in the pursuit of social justice.
To tonight's award, which depicts a community treasure, the Carnaval mural on 24th and South Van Ness in the heart of La Misión. To our commitment to saving lives in our community during a global pandemic, an effort replicated nationally and recognized formally by the White House and current administration. This is how we show up and deliver for our city, a city for everyone, the city we call home.
Somos San Francisco.
We are San Francisco, and this is what we celebrate and honor tonight, our shared power,
Our shared culture.
our shared unity.
Mayor Breed has been that ally for our diverse Latino communities all throughout her life, recognizing that our needs are San Francisco's needs, investing in our present and in our future.
Upholding our city values, ensuring that San Francisco continues to be the sanctuary that our communities rely on, and a city we can all be proud of. Supporting us in safety, health, education, and economic opportunity, with investments that move our community forward in the most difficult of times, by stepping up for us Latino migrants when the federal government would not or could not.
Because she well knows the disparities that our communities of colors face, not only in the context of a global pandemic, but in every aspect of our systems that affect us today.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, please help us in welcoming our mayor, London Breed.
Thank you, Larissa, and thank you so much, Joaquin. They make a great dynamic duo, don't they? Happy Latino Heritage Month in San Francisco! Somos San Francisco! We are San Francisco. And I'm so happy to see so many people here. And let me tell you, I'm really excited about this year's honorees. These are three of the most amazing trailblazers in San Francisco. And William, I am so in awe of you because of the work that you do every single day to uplift and to support small businesses in San Francisco. I know as a native you love San Francisco, but you love San Francisco and you love your community even more. And let me tell you, the work that he did is the way of the future for what we need to address food security. He helped during the global pandemic make sure that we were making a connection between the community and the people who needed the support and the culturally competent grocery stores, the places that sold the items that the community needed to buy so that they were able to make their own decisions and take care of their families. And it was a brilliant model that we need to continue to replicate in this city. Thank you so much, William, and congratulations. And I want to say to Cassandra, who is the first Latina to lead the teachers union in San Francisco. Let me tell you, what I appreciate most in everything that she does, yes, it's important that she takes care of her membership and she takes care of the teachers, but she cares so deeply about the students and their success. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that she is fighting for teachers and educators as a whole, and that our students receive the kind of education that they need and deserve, especially after the challenges of a global pandemic. The bridges that she's been able to build with parents and with other people who've had challenges in their various communities have just really made me develop a profound amount of respect for your work. So congratulations and thank you so much. And let me tell you, this woman who's getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, she is somewhat of a quiet force. Now, you see her on Telemundo, and you know she's reporting, she's giving you the facts, she's providing the information about the community. But when you don't have sometimes great journalism, you really can appreciate and respect all the extraordinary work that she does to make sure that this community in particular is well represented, that the fight and the struggles of this community are shown and documented. For over 20 years, she's been in the cameras, in your faces, asking the questions, promoting the stories that would never, ever make it to television if it wasn't for her. She has been doing this for over 20 years. And she took it even further during the pandemic to make sure, working with the Latino task force, when we needed to make sure people understood the resources that were available for testing and for vaccinations and our rental assistance and all the work that we did together, she highlighted those stories and made sure that she helped us get the word out in an extraordinary way. So we are so grateful. 3 amazing people who serve the city and county of San Francisco well, who should make us all proud on a daily basis. We are here to honor you and recognize your commitment and your legacy. But I also want to take an opportunity to go a tad bit off script, because I do think it's important to acknowledge someone who was a part of the planning of this event, who has been a part of planning this event for the past couple of years, who continue to work with the committee, who work with my office to deal with the challenges around job opportunities and employment, who was always available to work with the Latino community and the Latino task force, who made sure that there was a relationship that existed with labor and I understood what was happening on the ground to make sufficient changes to address these issues. Some of you may have heard that Josh Arce, at the end of the month, will be taking on a new role, and I am so proud of him. I'm so grateful for his friendship and his service to the city and county of San Francisco. And I just want to say, Josh, thank you for everything that you have done for this city and for the people of San Francisco. We love you. We appreciate you so much. It is always so important that we acknowledge people for what they do, because these individuals who we're talking about, yes, they are doing a job to a certain extent, but they're also doing what they love for the people. They're doing what they can to uplift the history and the Latino heritage in San Francisco, to make sure that there is a real connection between what is going on in city government and how we're allocating resources and how we're being held accountable and how we're making that work for the actual average everyday people that are living the lives in the communities. We appreciate you all so much, and we appreciate so many of our leaders and folks who continue to carry the torch, to carry on the legacy, to remind us of our history and whose shoulders we stand on, and what we need to continue to do to make sure that we are preparing and taking care of the next generation so that those stories are not lost, so that this heritage is integrated into what San Francisco is. We are a truly amazing, remarkable city, but we are not that without the people, our history, our diversity, and our culture. So I want to thank you all so much for being here to celebrate Latino Heritage Month in San Francisco. So let the festivities begin.
Mayor Breed, I know we wanted to welcome the host committee to come up and join you for a picture before we move on with the remainder of the ceremony tonight. So if we could invite the host committee to come up to these steps right now and join the mayor for a picture. Come on up.
It's on the thing, right? One more round of applause for all the members of the host committee who put in so much time together with a very incredible moderator in Josh Arce to ensure that we could celebrate the strength of our diversity in unity here tonight. Cesar Chavez not only championed the principles of nonviolence in organizing for the dignity of farm workers across this country, but also illuminated the importance of educators in addressing the poverty that lived not only in our pocketbooks, but in our hearts and in our minds. He believed that the loving touch of this most precious community resource, a teacher, could educate a young heart better than a book could alone. that they had the power to advance the lives of our children, our families, our communities, and our collective future. That's why it's my honor to introduce our first awardee for this evening, an advocate who has shown true strength in shining a light on what our teachers and paraeducators need for the benefits of our schools and our students and our communities. Cassandra Curiel. You heard it from the mayor, the first Latina president of the United Educators of San Francisco. For our community, the opportunity gap is no stranger. We saw its disproportionate impact most starkly during the pandemic, and we see it widen when our schools do not have access to the resources that we need. For our community, we understand the value of organized labor and having someone at the helm who is not afraid to fight for fair wages, safe working conditions, stable jobs. We know teachers don't choose this profession because they were promised a big paycheck or a short workday. We know they do this for something more, for love for the children that they serve, and with respect for how important this role is in molding, shaping, and educating all of us. We understand the importance of substantial and significant representation in the classroom, in our union halls, and in our elected offices. And how inspiring is it knowing that in our community and our educational needs are represented with a powerful Latina in charge. A Latina who's a bridge builder, unapologetic in her fight to support those in our city who need our care the most, unapologetically Latina, unapologetically union. To all of our labor leaders in the House, we thank you and we recognize you, together with Cassandra, for all of your accomplishments. And to you, Cassandra, our 2023 Cesar Chavez Labor Awardee, we congratulate you. Bienvenidos.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the honor of this award. I am a teacher. I am a president. I am an eldest daughter and a second-generation Mexican-American. Raised during a time in our state's history when there was a war on Spanish and it hit our schools and impacted my own upbringing. And like that period, our community has had to struggle for every recognition we have won in our city, in our state, and in this country. We are in a critical moment now for public education, and also for the working people, the immigrant and Latino people of our city. As just one example, it was heart-wrenching today to hear that our SFUSD families, our SFUSD students who are at a press conference are facing homelessness. And I know that this is a serious issue and a long-standing issue from personal experience working at Visitation Valley Middle School for 11 years. Without the available spots or vouchers or support system, we have to draw attention to this particular issue because it affects our work as educators in our classroom and in our schools. Our students learn best when they're housed, when they're fed, when they're cared for. And it's just one of the many reasons why we're fighting for community schools. If we prioritize the well-being of our whole communities, then we will all thrive. I am deeply committed to advocating for these needs and for the rights of our community and all marginalized communities in building unity. We need to build solidarity. We organize resistance. We defend our rights, and my role as a labor leader and as an educator is in that tradition. The same tradition as Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, and the thousands of other community leaders named here and those in this room who do this work day in and day out. And it is part and parcel of a larger tradition of the labor movement and of educator unions. That UESF led the way in getting school-level access to testing and high-quality masks for students during the 2021-22 COVID waves when we were back in person. Again, when we donated our stimulus checks in an effort initiated by our now Executive Vice President Frank Lara, when he recognized that our undocumented families and school communities were getting hit hardest during this pandemic. We are proud of our heritage of resistance, our heritage of collective strength, our heritage of community. A community building to be part of the solution. And in accepting this award tonight, I reinstate my commitment to be part of that community, be part of our efforts for social justice, porque somos San Francisco. Thank you.
Right. Yes, please. Yes. Yes, that's yours.
I have the honor of introducing somebody from my barrio. Our next honoree is the recipient of the Rosario Anaya Community Award. This award honors an individual who has committed their career and lifetime to the betterment of our Latino community. The work of Commissioner William Ortiz Cartagena, truly embodies the spirit of this award and the spirit of our beloved, queridísima Rosario Anaya, who's watching us allá arriba. He's a native San Franciscan, a leader in the Mission District, the Excelsior and Latino San Francisco, and is the founder of Cartagena Consulting, which focuses on uplifting Latino businesses, specifically those who were hit hardest during the pandemic. He has a long history of working in hospitality industry and, more importantly, of service to the community. William represents the best of San Francisco's creativity and ability to get the job done. His contributions are immeasurable. Thank you, William, for your dedication, muchas gracias, and tremendous impact as we embark on the hard job of recovery and making sure that Latinos are not left behind. It is an honor to ask you to join us on stage as the recipient of this year's Rosario Anaya Community Award.
¿Cómo estamos, mi gente? ¡Woo! I am humbled to represent this. This is a culmination of generations of people that stood before me. Rosario herself, I remember running around MOVS as a little kid with Formo Alborero, and I used to hate being in that building, right? My mom needed a job, we'd be out there. You know, Rosario always give us a snack. So, World 360. Pero nuestra gente in the pandemic, we were the hardest hit, and we put all our pettinesses aside, and we got together and we helped community. No matter were we rich, poor, it doesn't matter. We were out at the Mission Food Hub serving that food. In the thick, we ran towards the fire. And now, our population is actually the only population in San Francisco that actually has grown. Esto es nuestra gente. And I'm here just to thank people, my beautiful family, the sacrifice of the hours I give for community. My mom, may she rest in peace. The homeboys from the streets that keep me always grounded. Love you guys. My team and family at Clecha, I love y'all. Love y'all. OEWD, Diana, Josh, Joaquin, I know you're an assessor now, but I love y'all. LTF, Roberto. My godmother, Tracy. Val. I see you. The Office of Small Business, Madam Mayor, Frisco baby, Galileo alum. We doing it, right? Board of Supervisors, and that's the city. The media, the national media could paint what they want. We might not get along sometimes, but this is Frisco, this is San Francisco. And lastly, I want to give a special shout out to the city of San Francisco herself. She birthed me, she raised me, she nurtured me. When my mom was fleeing El Salvador, she embraced my mom, undocumented and all. When people didn't believe in me, she did. She gave me second, third, fourth, fifth chances. She introduced me to culture. She was my economics professor. She instilled in me empathy and compassion and gave me life lessons that at the time I probably didn't understand, but she was always just and always fair. For that, I appreciate her. And I will never stop defending her, and I will never stop contributing to her. And if you could ask my kids that were born and raised here, kids, say it loud, what's the best city ever? There you go. I appreciate, thank you everybody.
The recipient of the Dolores Huerta Lifetime Achievement Award embodies the principles that Dolores taught us, that every minute is a chance to change the world, that every moment is an opportunity to organize. The recipient of this award respects the integrity of their profession and leverages the power of their voice and the focus of their storytelling for the benefit of community. Our next honoree, Pilar Niño, has been and is that trusted voice in San Francisco and the Bay Area for the immigrant and Latino communities through her Spanish language reporting. She uses her platform to amplify issues that matter the most to us. A trailblazer in her field, she spent 10 years as a sole San Francisco reporter for Telemundo and has received multiple Emmys for her journalism. But she's not just a reporter, she's a leader. A leader who knows that a trusted voice matters, that a trusted voice can save lives. Immigration, healthcare, politics, local and national, LGBTQ+, rights, domestic violence. These are just some of the issues that she's tackled. So many stories that can and should be celebrated. But I'd like to take a moment to focus on her coverage of the global COVID pandemic. Working collaboratively with our city and our Latino leaders in community and at large, Pilar knew intimately that the Latino community, many of which were essential workers on the front lines, needed information, needed it fast, needed it correct, needed it right, needed it from someone they could trust. In the dark, early, and uncertain days of 2020, when things were real bad, Pilar was right there with us. She saw us. She saw you. So many of you here today in this room who stepped up and helped save lives. Grandparents, fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, our loved ones. She brought our stories to the forefront of everyone's minds to show that our collective experience and our trauma demanded vital support from government at every level and our greater community. She brought light to the heroic efforts of the ecosystem of Latino organizations, leaders, and the essential role that migrants played, and so much more. The stories of how, again, the very people in this room made it so that San Francisco had one of the highest vaccination rates and the lowest death rates across the country. Through everything that you do, Pilar, you put community first in your coverage, in your stories, in your life at home. Pilar, we're so proud to invite you up to accept the 2023 Dolores Huerta Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you for representing the best of our strength, integrity, and perseverance in all that you do.
Good evening. Buenas noches a todos. Suena bien. One day, when I was about 13 years old and living in my native Bogota, Colombia, my father asked me, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" I remember that I quickly replied, "I want to change the world." He smiled at me and said, "Yes, Pilar, at your age, we all want to change the world." What I never imagined is that years later, I will end up here in San Francisco, a city that has in its DNA that same objective, to change the world for the better. Some of the stories I have covered during these 23 years in the San Francisco Bay Area are a good example of that. Let's start with a struggle to allow the matricula consular to be used as a valid form of identification for immigrants. That happened in 2001, you remember? Today is a reality across the nation. The driver's license for undocumented people, the gay marriage. How many times workers went on a strike asking for 50 more cents per hour or $1? After the Occupy movement, we saw increases of $3 per hour. The Latino Task Force, a national model, a national recognized model of how to serve our community. All these movements that I have covered, if they were not born here in San Francisco, they certainly received plenty of attention, energy, and fuel in our area. So may you breathe. Dear friends and family, the honor has been mine and keeps being mine to be able to witness and report on these issues. In fact, it is San Francisco that saved me from becoming cynical about reality. San Francisco gave me hope, and more importantly, keeps giving me hope that we can work on the root of our collective problems and find real solutions. Quiero dedicar este premio a mis padres que están aquí presentes. I want to dedicate this to my parents here present with me. Gracias por darme alas fuertes para volar. To my parents, thank you for giving me strong wings to fly. To my brothers, my familia, my brother, my sister, thank you for your unconditional support, your love, and your patience. Believe me, it's no fun to have a sister who is a reporter always asking for contacts for interviews. Thank you for your patience. To my second home, Telemundo, thank you for your trust and for allowing me to be me. Para la comunidad latina de San Francisco y del área de la Bahía, gracias. Gracias por confiar durante todos estos años sus historias en mí. You give me a reason every day to keep fighting. To my friends, where are my friends? This is also for you because we all share the dream of trying to improve the lives of others. To my partner in life, this is for you too. You are my rock. To the other love of my life, my sweet son Mateo, who is currently serving in the U.S. Army. I'm so grateful to be your mom. Thank you all for this amazing honor. With a renewed spirit, I will keep trying to change the world one story at a time. You know why? Porque sí se puede.
If I could invite all the honorees to come up, please, and join the mayor for a photo. And then we'll invite all of the host committee members, our elected officials, and our department heads and consul generals to join as well. If I could invite all of our elected officials to join the honorees. And if we could invite up the host committee. If everyone can stay, and we can invite the host committee up, and of course our consul generals. We have Mexico in the house, Japan in the house, Peru in the house, Italy in the house, El Salvador in the house. Por favor, bienvenidos. And if our department heads would not be shy and please join us. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come and join. We'll take a moment to settle. We'll take a moment to settle. I am looking at my co-MC to join me up here. Por favor.
So now it's our honor to invite two members of this year's host committee with whom without this event would not be possible. Thank you for our sponsors. Roberto Hernandez and Ann Cervantes will recognize the sponsors of this year's Latino Heritage Month Awards.
Yeah, well, surprise. So you want to start off?
Who's here for Wells Fargo? I'll start with Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're thanking Wells Fargo for the sponsorship for this event. And do we have Wells Fargo here?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo?
Come on. Lorenzo, come on up.
And this is a special mural. It's about to be landmarked.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, you're next.
No, go ahead, do the next one. I'll do
Josh.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is special because my mom and I are really great fans. And I want to just thank the Golden State Warriors for sponsoring this event. Something from the Warriors here?
Ask for Vanessa.
Mr. Velasquez.
Vanessa?
Vanessa? No? Aw.
So Vanessa one's for me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mayor?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is. Vanessa, thank you.
Now, you know that's a special one.
And this is special.
Get in the mic.
This is special because this award is important because it's going to be one of our first historic Latino assets from the mural movement that will be landmark. And we want to thank all the support and the Board of Supervisors, but especially Mayor Breed. So we have a little thank you. Can you come up and get the thank you? Yes. Welcome. What's really important is on your seats because it talks about the Fiesta de las Americas when it was celebrated. And a lot of you know is that I document a lot of our history. It's mostly not from books, but from oral histories, the Native American tradition, in first voice, and also from the Spanish newspapers that were here when the borders changed. And a lot of our history is documented in these papers, as well as current events and poetry. The next one's is special, too.
So thank you, Ann. Let's give a big round of applause for Ann Cervantes. Under her leadership is why this Carnival mural is becoming a historical landmark in San Francisco, and it's appropriate that here in the 45th anniversary of Carnival San Francisco, it's happening. So thank you, Ann. I really personally want to tell you muchas gracias, and you know I love you dearly. We have something very, very special today for somebody that we love dearly, somebody that, for me, and it's real hard for me, so bear with me, is somebody that I admire, I respect, I've learned to love. I've seen him as a family man, growing his children, and a man that 24/7. It's just going and going and going. You know, and there's just a certain amount of people that will do that will just give and give and give and give. And so at this moment, I'd like to ask my brother Josh Arce from Another Mother to come up here. Is Lisa here?
She's picking up the kids.
She's picking up the kids?
And then here.
And then here?
For
Okay.
the food and the party. You know about the party?
But I also wanted to recognize your wife,
Yes.
you know, because it takes a lot from a partner to understand, to be able to do the other half of what's needed in the home. And I also want to recognize and appreciate your children, because I know the sacrifices sometimes they make, knowing the sacrifices I've made my children, you know, at times. So we got a couple of little things for you.
But thank God they have their public school teachers.
Oh, thank God they have their public school teachers. So first we want to give you, because for Carnival, you've been an angel to us, because there's always something that comes up. And, you know, and there's certain people that I can go to and count on that are not going to say no, they're not going to say why, they're not going to say what. They're going to say, how do we get it done? And so for Carnival, on behalf of our family of 45 years, thank you for all the times that you've been there, problem solving and getting things done for us when we needed you. On the lowriders, no, don't go away, don't go away, don't go away.
I like the behind the scenes, Mayor Bree.
No, you stay here. You gonna stay here. And I'm gonna tell you something. And I don't not only call them on Carnival, but you know, for the San Francisco Lowrider Council, you know, we have an annual King of the Street event, and we're having a hopping contest, and there was some dispute one year about who jumped higher. And so the following year, I called Brother Josh Arce, and I told every member of the Lowrider Council, I got the biggest Mexican, the tallest Mexican, that will make sure that he reads how high your car hopped. And so he has become the official tallest Mexican for the San Francisco Lowrider Council's annual hopping competition. And there's no undisputed arguments no more because of this brother. Wait, I'm not done. You know, I'll tell you when you can go, okay?
Folks want to party. That's the thing.
We are.
Folks want to eat and drink.
And the last, on behalf of the Latino Task Force, (24/7), Madam Mayor, I want you to know that he was there for us 24/7. 9 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 1 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 days a week. Whenever we needed something, he was there for us. So we do not normally give these out because they're very special, and there's only an event that we do this annually. But collectively, we decided that we'd go out the box and give this special award that we give out in the Mission District, which is called El Corazón Award. So on behalf of the Latino Task Force, we present this honoring your corazón, alma y espíritu, and dedication to advocate and empower the Latino community through workforce, cultura, and health. The Latino Task Force of San Francisco, October 2023. And I'd like to ask all the members of the Latino Task Force to come up and grab, and let's do a selfie. Come on.
Gracias, Roberto. Y gracias, Ann. And if we could have the host committee come up for a final picture with Mayor Breed and her proclamation in honor of Latino Heritage Celebration.
And Brother Josh, these are for your wife.
Yes, yes. One last picture with the host committee. If you could all come up, please. Felicidades a todo y muchísimas gracias. May we have another round of applause for all of our honorees. I want to make sure that we recognize some additional members who are in the house tonight. I see all is well. All is well. I see our Deputy Chief, Daniel Perea, in the house tonight. I want to recognize the work around racial equity that Claudia Flores is doing, the work of the Community Economic Development Division with Diana Ponce de Leon. I see another department head here, Sarah Dennis Phillips from the Office of Economic and Workforce Development. And to anyone that I missed, lo siento, lo siento. To you, Ann, and to you, Roberto, gracias otra vez. Thank you for all of the work to ensure that the Carnaval mural, one of the most important murals in our city's history for our community, has been represented and etched into the awards that our honorees received tonight. This marks the end of our speaking program. We have some wine, we have some refreshments. Congratulations again to our honorees. Now is the time to break bread and celebrate. Food, refreshments, and good music over here with DJ Juan Love in the North Light Court. We want to thank all of our sponsors who are joining us tonight. We want to thank all of our electeds, the host committee, and all. MLVS, Mission Language Vocational School, Café de Olla, Amelivar for helping us set up and clean up, Chavez Winery, who you'll find inside, for food and refreshments, and all the other amazing vendors who have made tonight special. Muchísimas gracias a todos y disfruto.
Buenas noches y que comience la fiesta.